like to call?
The cockpit is not answering the phone. Our number 1 is in staff, and our 5 is in staff.
I am going to call from Washington. I have a situation with American learned a possible hijack.
What's going on? That aircraft is erratic again. Very erratic. Eddie, talk to me. Eddie, are you there? Eddie? Eddie?
I'm Madeline, and today I'll be talking about the war on terrorism in Afghanistan. The war on terror started in 2001, right after the terrorist attack on September 11th. America's main goal was to end all terrorism around the world. The military phase was called Operation Enduring Freedom, which began on October 7th, 2001. Ever since then, the U.S. forces have helped the Afghan people regain their freedom from the Taliban. President Bush stated that this is a different kind of war against a different kind of enemy. The enemy is not a nation. The enemy is a terrorist network that threatens the way of life of all peaceful people. The war lasted 2 decades and consisted of 3 phases. The first phase was the toppling of the Taliban. The Taliban is a political and religious group that ruled Afghanistan. The first phase was pretty brief. The second phase started in 2002, which was when the U.S. Army defeated the Taliban army. The third and final phase was a turn to a classic doctrine. It began in 2008 with the U.S. President Barack Obama. How did the war on terror begin? After the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attack on the U.S., when 19 terrorists killed 2,977 people after hijacking 4 planes, crashing 2 into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, crashing 2 into the Twin Towers at the World Trade Center in New York City, another one into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and the last one failed to reach what most people believed was heading towards the White House, but it crashed in Pennsylvania. President George W. Bush declared a plan to stop terrorists around the world. This war was fought in Afghanistan and Iraq. I would like to talk about the part of the war that was being fought in Afghanistan. On October 7, 2001, America's initial response began the war in Afghanistan. President George W. Bush made sure that all homes were secured and began to destroy Al-Qaeda's power in Afghanistan. The U.S. and Great Britain planned to launch airstrikes in Afghanistan, targeting the Taliban and Al-Qaeda training camps. The U.S. forces also helped the innocent people of Afghanistan rebuild their country and recover from the Taliban, as well as helping them start their own form of government and including women. On September 20th, 2001, George W. Bush said,
"Good afternoon. On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against Al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. These carefully targeted actions are designed to disrupt the use of Afghanistan as a terrorist base of operations and to attack the military capability of the Taliban regime. We are joined in this operation by our staunch friend, Great Britain. Other close friends, including Canada, Australia, Germany, and France, have pledged forces as the operation unfolds. More than 40 countries in the Middle East, Africa, Europe, and across Asia have granted air transit or landing rights. Many more have shared intelligence. We are supported by the collective will of the world."
By October 19th through the 20th, 2001, many other forces including Britain, Turkey, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, France, and Poland all partnered together and set off to help fight in Afghanistan. In just weeks, the U.S. military destroyed Al-Qaeda's power over Afghanistan by taking down the Taliban. Taliban leaders surrendered major cities, including Kandahar and Kabul. By December 13th, the U.S. destroyed at least 11 Taliban training camps and 39 control sites. What made this so significant was that more than 50,000 terrorists from over 50 countries trained at these sites in recent years. During this process, the U.S. captured and killed many Al-Qaeda leaders. The next thing America was trying to accomplish is to clear roads of minefields to ensure transportation of aid and resources. The war progressed through the end of President Bush's term. On February 17th of 2009, newly elected President Barack Obama sent more troops to Afghanistan to fight. On May 1st, 2011, Al-Qaeda's leader, Osama bin Laden, was killed by the U.S. military in Pakistan, 10 years after the war began. President Donald Trump is elected in 2016, and a few years later in 2018, Taliban launches attacks in Kabul that kills over 100 people. Trump's administration then cuts off security assistance, as Trump calls it lies and deceit. By January 2020, the Taliban and Afghan government agree on making peace in Afghanistan. By late 2020, Joe Biden gets elected as president. The U.S. military announces that they will be pulling U.S. troops from Afghanistan, and by April of 2021, Biden decides to pull all U.S. troops from Afghanistan. Biden then says it's time to end America's longest war. The U.S. will continue to assist Afghanistan with security and peace.